Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing for the April 16th Al-Anon readings in Courage to Change and a little time for myself. My voice is still coming back. I've still got a little bit of congestion, but I am feeling better each day. I'm happy to report. We'll begin with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Today is the day that I'm recording this is Sunday, April 13th. So I don't have, I'm not ahead in my videos at all like that. It's not a comfortable place for me because I like to be, and I have been up to this point, very consistent in my postings. And I believe that there are people who watch every day, and I don't ever want to not have a video to post. So I was thinking about not recording today, and then I thought, no, I better record because I've only got 3 days, and that's, if anything happens, then, so I guess, I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to mention that in case something happens and there's no video, but I'm working really hard to not let that happen. So, all right. I'm going to take a minute and look this over. The question is, what small beauties can I appreciate in my life today? Very appropriate for me. I'm going to try not to get emotional. Oh boy. Okay. So this is about perspective and how perspective is so important. I was going to say perspective is everything. It's important that the passage is saying it's important what we choose to see, choose what to focus on. If we focus on the alcoholic behavior, the stress, the hate, then we will feel a certain way. But if we shift our perspective to see joy, grace, and love, then it changes everything within us. Today's reminder, instead of focusing on what's wrong in my life or the life of the ones that we love, we can change our point of view, and that will help us to see gratitude. The quote is from Opening Our Hearts, Transforming Our Losses. When we are less distracted and focused on the alcoholic, we're able to appreciate all the beautiful things around us. So what small beauties can I appreciate in my life today? So I'm going through a period of Well, first of all, I am going to get emotional. But it's because you all were so supportive. In my April 12th video, where I was talking about the person who I found out passed away, he was my mother's boyfriend close to 30 years ago, 25, 30 years ago. Well, he was definitely my mother's boyfriend. 30 years ago on this day, they were together. But he hasn't been in my life for like 25 years. In any case, it's been quite a grieving process. And someone commented on that video that grief, I'm paraphrasing, but is a true sign of love. And I thought that was so wise. Because it's true. It's a good reminder. Made me feel good. My sponsor recommended that I write a letter to the person who passed away. I haven't even said his name. I guess there's no need to. So I did that today, and it's a very long letter. It is, it doesn't matter how long it is, but 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 6 pages long. I didn't know what I was going to say. What I realized is that I made quite a few amends to him, and I expressed a whole lot of gratitude. It turns out that when a person provides you with a sense of safety, your heart doesn't forget that. And that's what that person did for me in the years that he was in my life. Granted, he and my mother broke up because she was, well, I don't really know the details, but I know for a fact that my mom was starting her cognitive decline with dementia, undiagnosed at that time. Part of that, one of the symptoms, was she became a compulsive gambler. She wasn't her entire life, but one of the first signs of her dementia was she became a compulsive gambler. And that brought up a lot of problems in their relationship. And they had a breakup. And it was ugly. Now, I tend to see a pattern. My parents' divorce was ugly, and the relationship that my mother had with my stepfather was horrifically ugly. He ended up dying during surgery, so there wasn't a nasty breakup, but their whole relationship was ugly. And then this breakup with this man who passed away was horrible. It was traumatizing. And after that, I never saw him again. So I thought it was really, really wise of my sponsor to say, I'm going to read a letter to my sponsor when I see her on Tuesday. So, so that'll be good. And I've read it a couple of times since I wrote it earlier today, and it's good. But the reason why I brought all that up is because I'm having a lot of really big feelings relate. I think it was kicked off by finding out that he passed away, getting sick. The weather's been like winter here. It feels like 27 outside today in New England. It's been raining for days. Excuse me. And so tomorrow it's supposed to be sunny and 59. I'm just going to call it 60. So I think that that will go a long way. A little spring weather, a little nice weather will go a long way. But what I'm saying is I'm having a lot of big feelings. And so the small beauties are really like these incredibly humongous beauties that I'm seeing in my life. Like I'm seeing this person as a wonderful gift when he was in my life. And what he has taught me that I can incorporate into the rest of my life is what I loved so much about him, which was his supportiveness, his generosity, his kindness, how fun he was. How he made me feel safe, except for when they broke up. But I'm not counting that. I'm counting all the time before that, because that was like I don't know. It was whatever it was, but there was so much good before that. And so I'm realizing that when I focus on the good stuff, I feel much better. And, I always say, not fear and doubt, but trust and love. And when I focus on all the wonderful love I have in my life, all the things that I love, I can be more present and I fear less. Because what this did is it made me fear. It sounds infantile, it really does. But I'm just being completely honest with you. I'm just explaining exactly what I'm going through to the best of my ability at this time. It brought up a fear of the death of my loved ones and me, because the way he passed away was not what I wanted for him or anybody. I wouldn't want that for anybody. And I don't want that for any of my loved ones, and I don't want that for myself. And the fact that it happened to him gives me fear. Because if it happened to him, it can happen to others. And I think that the healthiest way to combat that is to take one day at a time, just like Al-Anon says, and be loving and compassionate like Al-Anon teaches us. And not to overanalyze. Easy does it. Easy does it. Al-Anon tells us. So that's what I have to that's what I have to say about the small beauties that I can appreciate in my life. Even though I appear to be extremely emotional and not happy, it's not true. I'm expressing some very deep feelings that come out as tears right now. But what's happening is there's something very deep and profound going on inside of me that's helping to change the way I fear things on a daily basis. I think that's the best way to explain it. And it's very big because I've been dealing with these feelings of fear as long as I can remember, from the time that I found out that living things die. It's amazing how much I've incorporated my program in making amends to him. I didn't even realize I needed to. I would have sought him out when I was working my steps originally, but I really felt better when I wrote the letter and realized that I could carry on his legacy by being more like him, the things that I love. So how beautiful is that? Ah, it's very beautiful. I'm very emotional. It's all good though. It's all good. All right. I think I answered that. I have to blow my nose. All right. I actually forgot to unpause, so we're moving on. I'm going to read this. Ah, wow. Okay. To me, this is very similar to the reading in A Little Time for Myself. Talking about how we interpret our experiences, our attitude being very, very important. So this person is saying specifically, they expected happiness to come from others. And when it didn't, they felt deprived and unlovable. Al-Anon has helped this person to see things differently by working the steps. They've learned that they are lovable regardless of what anybody else thinks. That's tough. That's this person specifically, regardless of what their parents thought. And it says or what anyone thinks. That's a lot of work that goes into that. So this person says they can either feel sorry for what they think they've missed or appreciate what they have. That's pretty amazing, very profound. Today's reminder, and I have this whole reminder not underlined, highlighted. And basically it says we need to take care of ourselves. We are the only ones who can love us the way we need to be loved. And the quote is from Al-Anon Faces Alcoholism. It talks about accepting what is and learning to be happy with what is. Back up into the passage, there's something about how this person spent their life waiting for their parents to show them love and approval in a way that they wanted. And gosh, doesn't that say so much? That's like a whole different conversation. But I mean, it's about expectations, but it's also about what people are able to do, in their own development, and what I need as an individual. Fascinating. But I like the part about we have a choice about our own attitude, and that we need to love ourselves the way that we need to be loved. We can't expect others to do it. I feel, excuse me, I feel extremely grateful that I currently have a partner that loves me, that um, supports me. But like, for example, like we all need different levels of affection and support. He is a wonderful human being. He has been very, very patient with me while I've been sick, which is not easy. We had a whole like 2 day conversation slash disagreement about the fact that I take allergy medication, so I don't need a decongestant. This is what I was saying. I was 100% wrong because, and he was saying you should consider taking a decongestant. And I was saying I don't need to because I already take allergy medication. So finally, like 2 days in of being miserable, I said, why don't you look it up? And he looked it up and he said, one is an antihistamine and one is a decongestant. And if you have a cold, you need a decongestant. So I started taking a decongestant, and things started to move almost immediately. So it worked. So I'm really grateful that he's there to kind of like tell me when I'm like not making sense. But like I've been feeling really, like I explained at the beginning, I've been having a lot of really, really big emotions, and sometimes I just need a hug. And I go upstairs and I check in, and sometimes I just hang out up there because he's up there and I just want to be near him. And, sometimes it's kind of embarrassing. Sometimes I'll just kind of walk up to him and say, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, nothing. Not doing anything. I'm playing a game. And I'm just like, I don't want to be a pain, but could I have a hug? And, it's okay, like the first time, but that can get irritating. And, the funny thing is that I kind of know I'm being irritating, but I kind of also feel like I really need a hug. So I got that going for me. I've been talking long enough. I love this book. I love this book. I love Al-Anon. I love you. Thank you so much again for your support. And we'll close out with a serenity prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Something really magical is that it's raining outside, but the birds are singing in the rain. It's very cool, very fantastic. It is a small beauty. Is that what it said? Small beauties? Is it though? It feels kind of big. It feels bigger than small. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.